Hello everyone. I thought I would do a second video on Spellslingers just to sort of update people on how I'm finding it now that I've played a bit more and how the game has developed, I guess, for me, as I've gained access to more heroes, more cards, and generally just gained a bit more experience. First off though, some good news. This hero that was causing some major issues for me in the old balance department has been nerfed into the absolute ground. I said that in my last video that it would be nice if the creature that it makes lost trample, and they've done that. But they've also nerfed one of his signature spells, nerfed a particular legendary that it played a lot, and there was another change as well. They nerfed a bunch of stuff. It was great. Oh, they nerfed one of the land cards that Drizzt often plays. I have been seeing probably the most consistent success with Johnny. So Johnny is one of the many aggro heroes. He likes to target his own things. So whenever you target one of your own minions with anything, the next creature you draw gets +1/+1, and that's cumulative. So you can really stack up the buffs. For this, I built basically a nat deck. I was missing a few cards, but I built a list based off of one that I had seen Sam Black play. He made a video about it. So I'd have a go. And I had about enough resources to make most of the deck. Later, I was able to craft another epic card to round out to 2 Tarmogoyfs. So we're going to give this a bit of a go. And then I've also had a bit of... I'm now at the point where I can mess around a little bit more, which is great. So I'll show you another deck that I built earlier that I think is fun and silly, basically. Is an attempt to do something cool. Cool and shonky, but cool. So this deck, this is an aggro deck. The whole idea is we want to curve out, we want to buff our own minions with targeted effects like this one. In fact, I think this hand's fantastic. I have an interactive spell, which is really good in aggro mirrors. And I have this into this on the play, which is really nice. So the hope is I can play this, buff it up. Oh, they're playing the circle. That's interesting, actually. So what my opponent just played was this game's equivalent of quests. I'm going to turn the sound down a smidge more, actually. This game's equivalent of quests, which are class cards. And the way they work is, at the start of the game, they put a specific card into the top 3 cards of your deck. Goodness me. And then when you draw that and play that, it puts another card into the top 3. And then when you play that, it puts another card into the top 3. Right, I feel like this is a giant growth sort of turn. I can play this to make this a 2/3, so it does profitably block this. We still can't deal with a 3/3, but we can fight it the following turn, I guess. Or I can attack, hope they block. They'll probably just block here though, right? Then we end up with a 4/2 instead of a 2/1 with this dead, a 2/1 and a 2/2. I think this is slightly better. In particular because it's also a targeted effect, so we start the buffs going, whereas giant growth actually isn't. So we just have to pass here, unfortunately. My opponent's turn 1 was pretty big. This triggering is quite high impact. So we will block. That does feel like a pop spell as well, doesn't it? Can I beat a giant growth here? I could trade. Then it'll be 3 toughness. We fight this and then block it. I think that's what we got to do. Oh, they didn't have it. Okay, cool. Fine. This card is extremely strong in these type of like ground-based, creature-focused aggro mirrors. That's a good draw. So I can fight this. This will become a 4/4 because it gets bigger when you target it. I think I'd rather do this. It's a bit awkward having everything cost 2. But this will make it a 3/5, which is pretty good. I'm getting some damage here because they're tapped out. No giant growth's being held up. Cool. Because this is my only minion, I'm probably not blocking next turn. In fact, I'm definitely not. But I can attack with Giant Growth. That's pretty scary. My opponent's hero, by the way, every time he plays a minion, this ticks up, and when it gets to 5, he gets a 0 mana 3/2 in hand. Right, we're going to do this. And I think fight this. No, this only gets to 5 toughness doing that. I think we'll stop by attacking and playing Giant Growth. Ha! Got you. Annoyingly, if I play this now, make them fight, they'll just die. So I'm going to hold up this other Giant Growth. And then if they attack, I can trade. And then hopefully... Alright, well that will trigger the Giant Growth. Which does mean I don't get to block. But what I'm going to do is put another one of these on top of my deck with Leon and Kingcaller. So we take this. Eventually. Come on, game. Game? I guess they have to press the actual attack, but yeah, they just haven't pressed attack yet. Every now and then, there's a weird, quite serious bug in this game where every now and then, it just eats your turn. Oh, that's kind of annoying. That's not that annoying. Let's have an 8/8. So I'm going to add a copy of this to the top of my deck. Which will... So it keeps all the buffs that were on it, but not the damage. So it'll be like an 11/7 or 8 plus this bonus. So it'll be absolutely enormous. My opponent probably can't beat it. We're going to attack. It has trample, aka damage that it deals in excess, hits the opponent, so they take 8. Run this out. Maybe I should have done this the other way around so that this would be a 4/4, because it would get my buff. So these are land cards. I didn't cover these in my first video, despite saying I would. I forgot in the midst of actually playing. What they do is basically affect the mana mechanic. There we are. That's a 12/14. My opponent's playing red-green. I'm pretty sure they just cannot remove this. And I can give it ward as well. So I think what I want to do here is fight these two, and then this gets +2/+2. Or maybe I just attack with this and save the fight. I don't really need to. I'm not in a burning need to use this, right? This will just kill them next turn. So we're not in a huge rush here. Yeah, these land cards. Basically, you get a mana every turn, but there's these various ways to various land cards that you can play one of optionally that have a chance to replace your mana with something else, which is quite interesting. It kind of represents the dynamic of sometimes you draw land, sometimes you don't in Magic. You're guaranteed to get like the early turns, and the lands have different turns when they start triggering, so you can kind of pick the ones that suit your deck best. There's one that actually always gives you the mana, but it sometimes does something else instead of drawing a card. Okay, they get to kill my 3/3. That's a bit sad. But I don't think it matters because I have a 13 power trampler. Oh, no, I have 2 tramplers. Which means my opponent is probably dead. This is 20 attack. Oh wait, no, they're not dead. It's 1 off lethal. So I'd be very surprised if a green-red aggro deck with 3 cards can remove all of this. Like there isn't really a removal in those colors that can deal with a 12 toughness creature. Okay, that's a good card. So this is the quest payoff. I think they still die though. Oh wait, oh no, it has ward. It has I can't target it for 1 turn. So let's see. If I attack with this, oh, the attack sequencing is weird. I wonder if I can set it up so that it attacks in a certain order. Does that work? Like, Can I just do... Can I do it like... So the way this works, this card absorbs damage. So I want this to hit first. So it absorbs the maximum amount of damage. I don't think it matters because the other two are lethal without it, right? But it can block. I might be overthinking this. They might be dead anyway. I'm gonna see if I can attack in like a specific order, such that it will hit them in a specific order. Okay, they fight first. Then hopefully this will, yeah, this kills that, and then they die. Oh, I guess so, it'd be fine either way, right? Whichever one hits second would kill that, and then they would die. Yeah. It's only bad if... Maybe it's fine, regardless. Because my creatures all have trample, so if it dies before damage... The blocks always happen first. Yeah, I think it was fine regardless. Just overthinking the mechanics. I've played with that card myself quite a lot, the 8/10 that protects you, and it is surprising how much of a difference it makes which order the attacks come in. Like there I had overwhelming damage, so it was fine, but I've definitely had it bail me out of situations in weird ways before. Right, so that was that. So let's try another deck that's a bit sillier. So I just built this. So Jace has like an ultimate where it starts off costing 20, but every time you draw a card, it ticks down in cost. And it makes your entire deck cost 1, and you draw a card. There's a spell in this game called... I can't actually remember what it's called. Draconic Transformation. It turns all your friendly creatures into random dragons and replaces your deck with 15 random dragons. So my game plan is to sit around, draw cards, defend myself, dig for this, and then turn my entire deck into 1 mana flying win conditions. So play this spell, and then pop the ultimate to make it work. Now, I've only got 1 copy of this so far. I do have the resources to craft another one, but I've decided not to because I think I just want to run 1 copy so it doesn't sit in my hand, but not sure. Right now, I'm very constrained on blue crafting resources. I have loads of red. I've been using my green, but I've acquired some more since. But there's a lot of blue cards of high rarity that I kind of want in order to be able to put together certain strategies that are making it a little difficult. Okay, this is pretty good against aggro. It's just a big creature that keeps coming back. This is okay, but I probably don't want it this early. Remand isn't bad. Pulse is good. Kind of want some sort of 1-drop though. I might mulligan this for now. These cost the same, but so I'm on the draw, so I get an extra mana. I basically get like a coin, the equivalent of the Hearthstone coin. So going 1/3/3 is pretty good. Going 2/2/3 is good, but I don't have any. Like this is a bad 2-drop in those circumstances. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Okay, well this is a bit awkward. I hope I draw a 1-drop off the top on turn 1. That'd be ideal. 2/2 ward. Okay, I draw a remand, but if I play this on turn 2... No, it will work. Yeah, let's play this now. Then my opponent plays their 2-drop, then I remand their 3-drop, hopefully. And then start playing... Well, probably just play this to block. That's unfortunate. I will very gladly make this trade. So this is kind of a nice... This is expensive, but it's kind of a nice card to have at least the ability to craft my game plan around. I could do this here, but I think I'm going to hold up this remand. I'm going to voice line to make my opponent think I'm just regretting not having anything to do, in the hope that they play into this. Oh, they played a 2-mana spell. This only triggers if they play something that costs 3. So, annoyingly, this also trades with Toothy, but I can repulse it, so I'll probably just do that. Go away. I am kind of dying here. What can I do next turn? I can remand plus anticipate. Feels weak. Especially if they're just going to keep playing 2-drops. There is a significant 5-drop in Domri. Okay, I mean, this plus remand is probably good enough. I can block this or maybe chomp this. I'm taking so much damage now. I think I'm just going to die. Do I draw? No, I need to do... I can do this. No, not more slow cards. We're going to do this in the hope that they play something reasonably pricey. There is a card that's... it's like a 5-drop that gives the little... Oh, yeah, I'll remand that. That's fine. It's a 5-drop that gives the boars, the little 3/2s, permanent haste or trample. And the fact that they didn't play their 3/2 last turn suggests they could be, you know, holding it for that or whatever to play around removal. Yeah, this looks pretty bad, doesn't it? There's the boar. Okay, so I can play Toothy plus Anticipate, or I can Mist Raven, bounce something, and then I also have a blocker. I think that's the better play. I think I'd bounce this, because I'd rather trade with this. Bouncing their things is very awkward, because it means they get more of these. But as long as I can survive another few turns without being on too low life, I can wipe the board with Lava Wave and maybe start to rebuild from there. Oh god, never mind, I think we just die. I'm on 1 life. Well, if this costs 2 less, we'd be alright, but, well, not alright, we'd just die the next time we play something. Wait, we used several turns ago, Jason's Apprentice. Well, I'm not dead. Right, because I can play enough blockers. And this is even very large, but if they have any removal or any haste creature or any can't block or anything, then I die. For the rest of the game. Because this deck has no healing. Unless I can generate some, maybe. This one, nope, that wins the game. Oh, I clicked the wrong one, but never mind. You know what? Let's give it another go, shall we? Got a little bit pasted there. Going second against aggro. Especially when most of our interaction is bounce spells, which is a bit awkward against Domri. Because it means they can generate more 3/2s. Didn't really come in there, but like it is a rough matchup. Like the remand whiffing was very bad. Maybe I should have gone for something else. It's quite easy for an opponent who's like aware of the possibility of counterspells to play around them. So my opponent might have just, you know, the 2-drop might have just been what they had, or maybe they were like, this person's holding up remand. I'm going to counter. I'm gonna not play into it. Chandra, more aggro. Pretty bad for our no healing deck that's trying to play a really slow game plan. This is what I get for playing meme decks. On the bright side, the games are short. So if we lose quickly... Oh, we're on the draw again. That's bad. On the bright side, we have this. Do I just keep this in the opening hand? I think the rest of my hand's good enough that I might. I think I can replace this. It's really greedy to keep this because, you know, it means it's basically a dead card for most of the game. But on the flip side, we're against aggro. They're pressuring us. So we just want to survive and cast this as quickly as possible. Right, let's play a blocker. It's a bit annoying that they don't have a 2-attack creature, but we'll just have to trade. We can repulse the next player if we want, or we can wait and anticipate. That's probably worth repulsing unless we draw a 2-drop. We didn't. Yeah, we're going to bounce that, draw a card. Well, that blocked it next turn. It's a bit awkward to play them play them this way around, where I used up my extra mana gem, but never mind. Okay, I'll take a cheap creature. That's not too bad. We can do this plus this if we need. These are both pretty good. Yeah, that's... Have they got a shock? Nope, they're just letting me block. Okay. They got a trample or something? Give it armor. Okay. Oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. That's not a card you normally see in Chandra decks. It's not a color you normally see in Chandra decks. That's a pretty good draw. Is that better than blocking it? Or stunning it? Stunning it might be better, actually, because then I can block this as well. And then I can always kill it next turn. This gives me something in play. So this can't attack for a turn now. And then we can remove it next turn. Maybe we find a way to remove it more efficiently. That's kind of annoying. That's... Ooh, I'm dead. Yeah, looking super dead here. Annoyingly, that spell that she just played would be really good, but it's not legal in my colors. I can kill this and then hope I draw a 1-drop. Or I can try and play... I can play these two, maybe? Is that better? Block this, block this. This goes back to my hand. Take 2, 4. This way, this dies, I take 5. Let's do... Let's do it this way around. Come on, 1-drop. Nope. This isn't bad, though, because we can get removal off of it. And it's a 4/4 blocker. Yeah, that's pretty scary. I can turn it into a 3/3, but... Or I can bounce it, that works. Or I can just block it with this. If they have Flame Coil, I lose. But I think that's probably still... I can dig for a 1-drop. Just drawing the card gets my thing cheaper. Can play this and just chump block it. Maybe this is the better play, though. No, I'd rather be mana efficient. Let's do this and hope we hit something that kills it. 2 damage to each creature is pretty good, actually. That's excellent. So hopefully they don't have removal and I can trade now. And if nothing else, we killed the other 2 minions. No! I'm so dead. Okay. I can block that next turn at least. But I'm on 5. Let's see. So I can bounce this. Play another blocker. So we can block this. We're probably dead, like... I don't know how we stabilize here. Like, you need to randomly generate some more healing. But I've played most of my... Goodness me. I've played most of my card generation already. I can block this with Toothy. Oh, I can bounce it again. That works. That works better. I can play Toothy anyway because it kills them. Yeah, let's... I don't think sitting around and trying to find some eventual way to generate some healing or something to stabilize is going to work. Let's just try and kill them. Okay, that's good. They don't have any... Oh, that's scary. I think I have to turn that into a frog. I could do this now. I would probably die doing that. Let's see what I can draw from this. None of these do too much. This blocks the 5/1 cheaply. I've already got one of these. This also blocks the 5/1. More card draw then? What am I doing this turn? Probably Mage plus Remand, right? Pixie Trickster plus Remand even. Oh, let's do this then. Just get as much stuff into play as possible. So I guess if I attack, they just trade here. But that's kind of fine. Is it? I think it's fine. No, it looks bad. I'm just attacking with these. Because I need something to block the 3/3 that I'm going to give them from Pixie Trickster. Damage in. Play this. Kill that. Because it deals 1 damage when it attacks. We literally can't afford for them to do that. Remand. And we hope to not die. Next turn I can attack with a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that gets remanded at least. Oh, lava wave! That might be good enough. Oh god. Oh god. Right, okay, so this is blocking here. This blocks this. Trade. Eat this. Would I just get this off the board and chump? No, I'd rather have a 2-3 left over. And then chump here. So Lava Wave not looking so hot. On the bright side, it's been a few turns and I still haven't died. So that's good. We might even get to do this and then probably lose to a top-decked Shock. That's a very good draw. Let's do that. And then let's play blockers. Can dig for another 1-drop. And then play 2-3. Or I can do this. I can hit some 2-drops from that. Don't think it matters. I can do 2-3 divination. Let's attack while I'm thinking. Random blue card. I can pop my ult here. Maybe I should. But most of the stuff in my deck is like not particularly expensive. So next time I'm going to do this. Okay, that's fine. That's just a 5-5. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, I think we just do it, right? It's dragon time. I don't have a cheap... I guess I could play this to get another dragon in play. But I may as well play this and then draw a card and play a 1-mana dragon from my deck, which may have a debut effect or other powerful ability. So... Well, that's bad. That's great. We love a 5-5. Something that heals me. I'll take a 9-6. That works. Opponent immediately draws Shock. Stun an enemy creature. That's pretty good. Yeah. Block here. Chump this. What does this even do? Nothing. Bonuses when it attacks. We can Lava Wave now. Wait, if I just draw cards and then they die to this, right? Because this pings them when I draw. We just put that on the screen. After you draw a card, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So now we have lethal. Oh my god, we did it. My opponent decided not to play any burn in their aggro deck, and we managed it. Alright, I reckon I can squeeze in one more game with something different from either of those previous two. What else have I unlocked since I last played this on camera? I don't think I had Ral at the time, but Ral is pretty similar to that. What have we got kicking around? I quite like playing Vraska. Let's play some Vraska. I need to tweak this deck, actually. Maybe I'll show you the collection management process. So I've been playing, in this deck, I've been playing a... Pressing the wrong buttons. Actually navigating to the point where editing a deck is still confusing to me. I've been playing this this Pact of the Warlock, and I don't think it's actually good. Or if it is, I need to cut some removal. Because this gives you a removal spell reliably. Like, you don't always get it early, but you get it every game. To be fair, maybe it's worth it if I just cut, like, a bunch of the other removal I'm playing. Because I've got quite a lot. So I can cut this, and these Envenoms, which have been underperforming. This is a really good card, I think, for, like, decks with lots of cheap creatures, but this deck needs more creatures than this and more card advantage. And this is just not it, you know? And I can cut this. So now I've got keeping the Pact. Because I get a 1-drop from it, and I get this removal spell, and then this is like this deck likes to kill its own creatures on its turn. I should probably have told you what the actual hero does, shouldn't I? So Vraska, when a creature dies on your turn and that has a finale ability, which is like a death trigger, Dying Wish, duelist players, it triggers twice. So I think I'm playing every finale card in the colors. I'm not playing this. Or the one that shoots you for 4. Or this bad card. Maybe I should play this bad card. Is there anything I don't have? Don't need the foils. I mean, that's not particularly... This is a card you want to generate from... There's one that... there's a card that destroys a friendly creature and discovers a creature with finale and adds it to your hand. I don't own this card, but I just want to generate it off of Vraska's Throne. Oops. Vraska's Throne all the time. What does this do? Not much. Okay. I don't think there's anything we're missing then. But what we do need is just some more card advantage. Maybe some finishes would be nice. Like a lot of the creatures in the deck are kind of small, kind of dirty. We can get this Tarmogoyf, actually. So this gets +2/+2 for each card type in your discard. Well, discard pile, the graveyard. Which is part of the reason I was playing the Envenoms, because they're traps, which are a separate card type from spells. Having cut those, the Goyfs get a bit worse. Because we've just got creatures and artifacts, which are these are ways to sacrifice our own minions to get value. And then like a couple of spells. So the Tarmogoyf looks bad now. So we've got 4 slots to play with. There's not much card draw in these colors. Is there? Each player draws a card. That sounds terrible. We could put this in. I think I initially tried this and it was kind of bad, but it is a reasonable late game card. That's basically it. I could play this. This would help with... So right now I'm playing this one, which gives your minions ward. But perhaps what I should be playing is this, because generating legendaries instead of drawing cards is kind of good in the late game, because a lot of this is just early game, and there's some value in some digging there, but mostly by the time the game runs late, I mean, there's some removal you want to draw, but I think this actually seems quite good. So I think let's put this in over the land I was playing before. So starting turn 6, you have a chance to add a random legendary to your hand instead of drawing a card. If so, that turns Mana Gem is empty. So basically you draw probably some bomby creature that wouldn't normally be in your deck. And that's exactly what we needed to top our curve for us, basically. I can also play... I don't know why this doesn't show up. I guess it's not in the rules text, but this is a 6 mana 6/6, so you choose one of 3 abilities where you shoot yourself for 3 and get some benefit. One of them draws 2 cards, so we could just play this guy as like a random value bomb. Besides that, kind of want maybe like a decent creature at 3 or 4. We have no 4-drops at all. What's a decent 4-drop? I can just put in random rares, mythics. I've got an Eladamri, which is a really good mythic rare that I could play. There's like relentless creatures which die twice, so you can get more value out of those. This card isn't terrible. Omnath maybe. Random mythics. I should probably play at least one of these. I only own one of it, so that seems fine. This card is a 7/7 with ward if a creature died this turn, which you have ways to kill your own creatures, and also you can just attack and make them, make trades. So that seems pretty good. I could play this. At the end of your turn, if a creature died this turn, you get a 3/1 that can't block with flying. It's probably not super impressive, but might be one for the to-do list. And let's play Eladamri. This card is just very, very good. It gives you a 1/1 for 1 in hand, which is like extra fodder for the sacrifice effect, which is pretty good. And then buffs your hand as well. And this deck's quite a low curve, but there is kind of the plan of like cycling, a lot of these low cost minions or sacrifice effects, like both of these replace a card with something else. This one gives you a new card entirely. This one draws a card. This gives you like a bad removal spell. This one draws a card. So there's some effort to like try and keep the hand going. So Eladamri might still have something to buff. Yeah, let's give this a little go. And then I'll wrap this video up. I found... So to just talk about like my overall enjoyment. I'm really... This is currently my like game for watching YouTube too. I've been playing it quite a bit, just like to chill out in evenings. Been a little tired from work recently, so it's been nice to like have just something where I can, you know, have a chill stream on the other monitor and look back and forth between the two, you know. Okay, we're against Ashiok. Ashiok is usually a bad matchup for grindy decks. This might be good though. We can keep this as just like a big early beta. I hope I draw a 2-drop here. That's pretty good. So the way Ashiok works is every time Ashiok generates a card in their hand or plays a card that they generated from their hand, they put a little curse on a random card in your deck. And when you draw that card or it gets milled, you lose a life and they gain a life. So it's one of those decks where you can play with no win conditions. It's really annoying. I was looking forward to playing Ashiok, but unfortunately the mirrors are awful. Because it's so randomness dependent, and also because there are certain cards, especially now with the quests, like if you've got the blue, I can't even remember what it's called, wizard class that they have, that card is like massively stronger than basically anything else you can be doing with the deck, so I don't have that. It's one of the blue cards I want. And so Ashiok mirrors are like awful for me. Right, we're going to sack this to draw a card. And then its death trigger will trigger twice, which means we'll get 2 minions at the end of the turn. Hopefully we'll get some good ones. We didn't, but that's fine. These are basically just 2/2s. But that's okay, because we're going to feed them to this. Yep. So I can click on here and see how many little nightmares are in my deck. One thing I would like for them to do is to... I should probably cut this, actually. One thing I'd like for them to do is to reduce the time it takes to animate the nightmare reveal. Do I sacrifice this? It's not going to do anything into a 2/1, so drawing a card now might be a good idea. And drawing cards before Ashiok to put lots of stuff in your deck is probably better. I don't know, I guess they get, like, the average number of nightmares per card increases as your deck gets smaller, so it doesn't really help. What am I doing next turn? Probably like this plus this, or this plus this. Can heal for 6, which is not great. Yeah, let's draw a card. Try and find something better to do next turn. That's fine. Yeah, I don't hate this. Can play this and maybe hold up Pep Talk in case this gets removed. So they don't have mana for removal this turn, but they might have Flagrant Foul, which is a 4-mana hard removal spell. Okay, I hope they didn't hit any good ones from that. No, they didn't. Good. Well, the bottom card of my deck, okay. Do you get to see what they hit? No. Created by Aggro Deck, they generated a free get-ahead. That's gross. Right, let's attack. I've got the extra mana here. I should probably play this at some point. What I think I'm going to do is play this, kill it, so I get 2 extra mana basically, like 1-shot mana. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's just play this instead of... Oh my god, that's half the nightmares in the deck. Let's just play this instead of holding this up. Do I play this as well? Yeah, go on. Let's get the quest going. I'll probably want that removal spell at some point. I mean, I've got a removal spell, and this generates removal as well, but... just having a point-and-click, no-cost removal spell is pretty good. This, to be fair, this probably helps a lot. Ooh, let's hope we draw the removal spell next turn. That'd be good. Hell yeah, right. We can get rid of this. This card is very scary. Kill that, just attack. I guess these trade, which is fine. We chomp, take 6. And then with these gone, I can play the pep talk maybe. Beep beep. That's an interesting block. That tells me they have Drain Blood, which is deal 2 to a creature and gain 2. Or like they've generated a Pyroclasm or something to deal 2 to everything. Hopefully they kill this first. Infest, okay. Hey, that is how it works. Sweet. That's excellent. That's most of their turn. Okay, that's gonna get you know what? I'm gonna do this for tempo. That way, A, I get to hit them for a bunch now, and B, they don't get to generate a Fatal Infection. So what Fatal Infection does is it puts a little curse on an enemy creature that says at the start of your next turn it dies. Ashiok makes good use of those, both because it's a generated card, so it triggers their ability, and also because it, like, Ashiok generally plays a lot of chump blockers. Oh god. That got discounted? That's awful. Oh, this is doubly useful against Ashiok because it means I don't draw the cards. That is quite handy. Alright, let's attack with this. I guess I will throw away this 2/2 because I can't even attack, I don't need it. I'll play this for mana efficiency, and because, although this is like slightly better if you're expecting your stuff to die, if this dies or gets blocked, I still have lethal. I have 8 damage. If I don't draw... Oh, I'm probably going to draw a Nightmare, aren't I? Wait, they generated this? I've Scoured the Void, yeah. God. Yikes. Okay. Well, we can play this. Or I can just play this. This might just eat removal, but on the flip side, it will kill them if it doesn't. And they haven't shown me a ton of great removal so far. Okay. That is fine. Yeah, let's do it. It's mana efficient. So them generating more spells is kind of annoying, because it gives them more chances to interact with me profitably and gives them more nightmares, but at least it means they're constrained on mana, which I think played a reasonable amount of this land and Ashiok. Yep, sure. It's not trivial. Yep. There's now one of these per card in my library. Well, I don't think we're going to win this game, but they haven't killed this, which is not the worst. I guess I'm just playing my minions. It's a bit awkward to not be able to do this usefully. Like, my opponent has a lot more cards than me, so having 1/4 removal is like, because they're going to keep draining me, keep healing. Yeah. And finding removal of their own. Can turn to stone that and attack them for 2, but it feels pretty bad. Yep. Oh god, they haven't even done that yet. Nightmare. Oh yes, give me something good. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Unblockable. I guess I turn to stone. Hit for 2, play this. It's better to do this the other way around, I think, because then I get this to sacrifice. Yeah, this being unblockable is kind of good. And it gives me a buff spell that gives something else. Sneak. Okay. I don't think I can win. I think they're going to get me. I guess maybe if I can kill enough of my own... No, because So I got this thing where when my stuff dies on my turn, they lose a life and I gain life. But unfortunately, because they keep gaining life from all the nightmares, and they've managed to plant so many, that's annoying. More blockers. Oh, I kind of have to kill that. I mean, I can and will, so that's not the worst, but let's get some damage in, or more accurately, kill an elf. And I guess I will just play this. This feels a bit rough, but I think this is worth it. Just play everything out. Try and get as much pressure on as possible, because they are mostly stable, but they're not doing that well. Have they played the thing yet? Ah, now they have. I will not block. You got me. No! That's so bad. I've been meaning to put Infest in my Aggro deck, and well, it's been good for them. What's this? Oh, they're playing the Eldritch Tutor, I think. Man, I need to top deck something good, or generate something good off the Yawning Portal would be ideal. Vessel Chain is not bad. Oh, 5? Come on. Nightmare. Right, let's sack this, draw a card, hopefully not give them too much more life. That's pretty good. Oh my god. I recognize that there's a lot of them in my deck, but why are they only at the top? I'll save this, I think. I don't think I can win. I think there's too many nightmares. Oh my god. Regnar's pretty decent. So give this sneak again. Oh wait, they couldn't block last turn, so I had sneak anyway. Whoops. I could have gotten for more damage. Oh well. Let's sacrifice this to put 2 7/7s near the top of my library. Crucially, without nightmares on them. Shambler is okay. No, stop. Play this, doom this. Pass the turn. I don't know, it's weird. It's borderline. Like, maybe I'm supposed to concede. Maybe I'm supposed to have conceded a long time ago. I'm not really sure. They still have so many cards. Oh, they generated that? Okay, I think I'll concede to that. Oh. Well, that is a bad matchup. It's a very bad matchup, actually, in my experience so far. Vraska wants to kind of grind with small creatures and trade a lot, and just kind of runs out of cards compared to the blue decks. It's a shame, because I quite like the sort of aristocrats-esque, you know, doing things when things die kind of game plans in Magic. So maybe Vraska will get some more love at some point in the future, but right now, like, playing against control, she feels really weak. Against aggro, it's not too bad, because you can generate big threats they can't easily remove. But against Ashiok in particular, like, other control decks is alright, you can outgrind them, but Ashiok is very difficult to deal with. Right, I think that calls it for this video. Or just, I guess, to give my thoughts on the experience as a whole. Briefly. I think this game still needs some UI love. Like they've done a few patches. They've done some balance patches, which have been quite welcome. But there's a bunch of weird little things, like there's a lot of lag when you click away from, like if you complete a challenge, you click on it, and there's like often a long pause, presumably while it talks to the server to confirm. You can't see what your opponent's hero or land does until like someone's turn has started. So during the whole preamble, where like they're doing their voice lines and it's playing like animations and Cura summoning a fish or whatever, you can't click on any of this stuff on the board to see what it does. Likewise, you can't, like Ashiok's nightmare animation basically interrupts the screen while it's playing, and it's quite long, like a few seconds to show the little nightmares times 4 or whatever, and then another couple seconds to do the drain. So it's reasonably intrusive, which I guess is on theme, but from a UI perspective, it's really annoying. Things like that, and like improving load times, transitioning between different areas, would be quite nice as well. But and you can't see your discard pile. Like there's no way to see your graveyard, which is annoying because there's several mechanics that interact directly with it that would be very good if you knew what was in there. Like that would help a ton. I think that's the biggest one actually, like the lack of being able to see your graveyard. Other than that though, like the game feels reasonably balanced. Obviously there are some good and bad matchups, and I still think there's like nerfing Drizzt has done a long way to make control decks a bit more viable. I think I feel like I've seen Jace again like at all over the last few days since they nerfed Drizzt. Likewise, there's more Ashiok, and people playing Ashiok before because it's fun, but there's more of it now, and they're playing greedier cards like Scour the Void. But so that's good. The game feels a bit more balanced now. I do think the blue class maybe needs some change. Not really sure. It's extremely hard to beat, especially out of Ashiok specifically. Like Ral, I can see Ral kind of is weak at the moment. He's a class that he likes to cast lots of spells. That's kind of his thing. So the last chapter of the blue quest says if you spend 6 or more mana on spells in your turn, you get a 5/5 with sneak, which is ideal for Ral, but he's kind of, I don't really see him. I think his actual kit is quite weak compared to Ashiok, who doesn't actually need a win condition because of the nightmares. You can just sit around and generate removal. So I think like something that made the quest more suitable for proactive cards, or maybe made the quests not generate nightmares when you drew the cards, would be quite good if they changed that. Something to like basically make it so that it's less mandatory for Ashiok, because the quests are mythics, they're quite inaccessible to new players. So making the quests less mandatory for Ashiok, and also balancing them so that they're a bit better in other decks that have to play proactively and don't just get to like play defense all the time and get as many 5/5s as you could ever want, basically. But besides that, I think the balance in the game is pretty good, and I've enjoyed that I can now mess around. Like I've started building weird decks to do lots of different quests at once and stuff that I found quite fun. And I have reasonable access to stuff I want outside of, as I mentioned, missing a particular cluster of high rarity blue cards that I could use to build much more efficient control decks. But I'm still having a good time with it, and I've been climbing the ladder slowly but surely, which is nice as well. Yeah, been having a good time still. I have now spent some money on the game. I just basically waited until I saw something that looked remotely worth paying for, so I could support the game a little bit. Didn't feel particularly worth it, so I'm still on the hook for like, if they release another thing that seems like a good package and isn't too expensive, sure, I'll buy it just to throw them some cash for making this game I like. But besides that, I think they do need to work on the monetization aspect, like I talked about last time. But yeah, that's a follow-up video for Spellslingers. I hope you enjoyed. And let me know if you want to see more of this game. I can do videos for specific decks or whatever if people are interested, because like I said, I enjoy playing it. But this will probably be the second of 2 videos, just because interest tends to drop off if I do lots of coverage of the same non-duelist game. But I hope you enjoyed it while I was here, and let me know if you want to see more. Thanks, everyone.